Cancer, hello there, my friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early August 2021. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate every single one of you. We're going to get it started right away with a couple of oracle cards here, just so we could breeze into the reading and see what we got. Let's start it off smooth. What's going on with Cancer? My gods and spirit team, the beautiful Cancer collective. And we're just going to look at these real quick, just two, and then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you that bonus spread with the starseed oracle to see what it is you need to hear from the universe. It's always a great way to tie in the reading. So there's many things for you to think about and consider. I hope you're all doing well and fantastic. Okay, here we go. There's a big future focus here with this first card. Okay, and creation showing up as well with this guardian angel. And we'll speak about them. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be talking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Now, into these cards, you see this beautiful woman in a dress looking off in the distance. I always feel like this is a future focus, and I think that's something that was showing up for you last week. A lot of you might be in your mind about what course to plot, which way to go, which path to take, what'll have the best outcome. That's the vibe I'm getting here. And that makes sense. It's normal for all humans to do things like that. Try to find the best path forward, but it's showing up here big in that future focus. Especially with this next card, we have this angel, and it's hard to tell it's an angel in the card, but there are big wings. He has a Vitruvian man on his head. There's a creation, a child there. So either you might be wanting to create something, bring it forth, whether that's a literal creation like art, music, things of that sort, or creating your own future, manifesting things and bringing them to you. And it makes complete sense when we look at both of them combined, like this future focus, this creation, your mind is on the horizon, what's to come. And the fact that there is a rainbow here in this card bodes very well, honestly. And we're going to get into the full reading itself now. Let's get into tarot. So let's shuffle it up one time here for Cancer. We'll see how that ties in. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You know how it goes, my friends. Let's shuffle it up, get you three in the upright, and intuitively clarify. What's going on with my Cancer friends, please? Now, last week, the reading was titled An Emotional Message. And the week before that, it was an unexpected sign. Like you could be getting signs from the universe, number signs, synchronicities, omens, things of that sort. So we'll see if that's still showing up here for you. Like the universe may have been talking to you loud and clear. And you know it usually speaks through numbers. And here we go, starting with a perfect tie-in. Position number one, we have the Magician. So creation is a huge theme this week already, before we even get into the other cards. What do we got here? Let's get two more for Cancer. Yeah, Three of Wands, that future focus. So we're getting a reiteration of what we saw in the Oracle cards already. Let's get one more, though. We'll really try to dive in, get as much detail as possible for you. Okay, thank you. Okay, we have the Eight of Swords. I wouldn't stress too much about the future. A lot of you might be doing that. And before we even get into all the other stuff, the way this is flowing, like with the creation, the manifesting, the waiting, there could be a stress involved with the future, what's to come. And it makes sense. That's another thing that a lot of humans do with this Eight of Swords on the back end. But I'm going to go through, give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes before we get the juicier messages below. It's already fitting together like puzzle pieces, like a full story. Magician in position number one. This does speak literally about manifesting. A lot of you might have an interest in ritual or occult type things, okay? And occult is not a bad word, it just means hidden. So this guy can represent hidden knowledge sometimes. But creating, know that thoughts become things. Yes, you have to meet the universe halfway. Put in a little action, but now could be a big time of creation where you could be setting the foundation for your future, what's to come. Big with this card. It's an energy conduit as well. So there could be a lot of different energies flowing through you. Right here in the center, we have the Three of Wands. All threes can talk about group situations, but I'm not going to lean on that. This one is absolutely patience-based. Someone who may have already put in a manifestation, put something in motion, and they could be waiting for it to come, waiting for it to happen. So maybe some of you are in that wait and see type of mode, especially with this Eight of Swords here on the back end. But it's important to remember that these could be energies of other people around you as well. This card can speak about distance and things like that, travel. But the Three of Wands to me is somebody just waiting on those ships to roll in, literally. And right here on the back, taking up the end of the reading, we have the Eight of Swords. So as I said, maybe stressing about the future, okay? And I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't do that, but it's natural for people to do those things. Aside from that, this could be somebody who feels a little cornered, a little trapped, like their hands are tied in some way, okay? So anxiety, stress, nervousness, these are things we think about with this Eight of Swords. And we're going to dive deeper. Let's jump in and clarify now. Let's get one more shuffle here for Cancer, please, my guides. And all those messages still reign true, but this is where I go intuitive, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research, rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every reader only gives you their interpretation. So this is just mine. If you could pull more messages out of these cards, please be my guest. I think that's a beautiful thing. And we're going to go in on this Magician, though. Why is this Magician here for Cancer? Please and thank you. Okay, Eight of Cups. Yeah, you might really want to get the wheels turning on something. You might be ready for a big change. That's the vibe it's giving me. Now, yes, the Eight of Cups could talk about leaving certain things in the past, leaving certain ways of being, acting in the past. But the intuitive vibe it's just giving me under this Magician, there's like a sense of urgency about getting something going, especially next to this Three of Wands. So you might have a big sense of urgency about you in general in the coming days and weeks. Like, all right, I've waited long enough. Let's get this going. Or I've been waiting. I want action. I want something to move. Okay, so this is urgency. This is somebody that's tired of waiting. This is somebody that wants to make action. So there's a big energy of urgency here. Now, you could be going through a lot of different things, whether that's work, personal life, relationships, romance, you name it. Tarot covers the whole gamut of all those things. But this is somebody that has a sense of urgency. This could even be someone you're tied to. Like, all right, time to make this move. Time to get this going, okay? That's just the vibe it's giving me. We're going to go in on this Three of Wands. We'll talk about it more when I do the recap. Interesting vibes, okay? And I also want to point out you have double eights in this reading. That's actually my life path number, but you might want to look into the numerology of repeating eights. I do believe it partially connects to creation and manifesting, so that's even more of a sign to us. Let's get it going here with the three. Why is the Three of Wands here for Cancer? Please. Why is the Three of Wands here? Thank you. Yeah, some of you might just be waiting to hear back from something, hear back on some news. The Page of Pentacles, yes, it could be an earth sign. Yes, it could be someone that's younger, but it's a messenger, it's a student. And when we're fitting it in with the theme that we have, I feel like a lot of you might just be in that waiting position, waiting to hear the news of something. Or that could be a big theme in the coming days and weeks. Like, all right, I've done this, I've made this action, now I'm waiting on those results. This could be a communication coming in as well, so you might receive some good news. I feel like that's a possibility, especially with this page in the upright. So if you have put something forth into the world, if you have been kicking the tires and feeling very urgent, wanting to get something going, you might get some word about that in the coming days and weeks, okay? We're going to go in on this Eight of Swords, and then I'll give you a recap before we get into the bonus spread. Interesting vibe this week. It's fitting together like a whole story, which doesn't always happen. You know that. So let's see what's up with this Eight of Swords. Just want to make sure everything's nice and straight there for you to see. Why is the Eight of Swords here for Cancer? That's giving me a stern vibe already before I even get the clarifier. Why is the Eight of Swords here? Thank you. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. And even though this has nothing to do with movement or energy, like movement or action, I feel like this is giving me more sense of urgency, and that could be what's causing a lot of this anxiety, okay? Even if you are in a waiting pattern, waiting patiently for something to roll in, there's like a sense of urgency, like I want to get this going, I want this action. Now, the Five of Pentacles is generally somebody that feels a little lonesome, so if this is someone you're tied to, they might be feeling a little lonely and up in their head, overthinking. These are the vibes, but I'm getting that same vibe we're getting with this Magician and the Eight of Cups is like, I want action. I want something to happen. I want this change. I want this to move along. Like, let's go, go, go. Okay? Because the Five of Pentacles usually represents somebody who's feeling uncomfortable to me in some way, like feeling uncomfortable at the moment. Usually out in the cold, not warm and fuzzy. So there is still a sense of urgency along with the stress and a little bit of anxiety. Just take it however you will. We're going to do a quick recap though. If you kindly look down in the box, my friends, position number 1, we have the Magician with the Eight of Cups in the upright. As I already said, this could be a big time of creation, bringing things forth, but this is someone who's like, let's get it moving. Let's get it going. There's a sense of urgency behind somebody you're connected to. Like, it needs to happen now, or it should have happened yesterday. That's the vibe. In the center, we have, and of course it could mean other things, we have the Three of Wands with the Page of Pentacles, waiting back to hear some news. Could be waiting to hear from a specific person. Whatever it might be, this is someone in a holding pattern that has put something out there and is waiting to see the results. On the very back end, we have the Eight of Swords with the Five of Pentacles. Even though it doesn't classically mean this, that sense of urgency is still kicking in for me. Someone that's just overthinking, like, all right, this needs to happen, like thinking about all the different angles. Someone who is not currently comfortable and wants to be. So if none of this energy is yours, this could be someone you're tied to for sure. So please take a screenshot. You can look into that a little further. We're going to get your bonus spread out here. That was an interesting one, different from the last couple of weeks. Let's shuffle it up here for Cancer, please. What do we got for my friends? What does Cancer need to hear? And I love to end readings with this optimistic deck. It's a nice little capstone, and I'll give you the literal and figurative meanings as well. Okay, nice and quick. I won't take up too much more of your time, my friends. Let's get two here for Cancer. Okay, yeah, star bathing, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I think this exact same alignment came out in the Aries reading. We have star bathing in position number 1, and we have the great severing, which makes sense since we had the Eight of Cups. Now the star bathing card, on an intuitive vibe to me, this does speak about getting out under the night sky, contemplating the universe, taking in those energies from the moon, from the stars. Consider our place within the universe, but this can also speak about perspective, trying to look at things from different angles. But I do always encourage people when this card comes out to really get out under there, and it might be good for your energy just to take it in. Look up at the stars, take a breath, relax. This is a good card. It could also speak about your personal astrology, whether that's your transits, like your astrological transits, your natal chart. So you might want to look into those things. Literally says light body, crystal grid, transmission, and activation. A lot of you might feel like you're being called for something higher in these coming days and weeks. Now, the great severing is similar to the Ten of Swords to me, or the Ace of Swords even sometimes, like cutting certain things away. And we saw it with the Eight of Cups. So a lot of you might be in that mode. I don't want to say like rock bottom or a loss, but this is knowing what it is that is no longer serving and letting it slide, letting it go. The literal meaning says Mars energy, anger, conflict, and softening to love. So we get another dual message here that, yeah, your temper might be flaring a little more than usual in the coming days and weeks, but there could be a need for nourishment, love, care, emotion. That might be something you need in your life. And I always say, if you need that, I got you. I'm a big teddy bear. I like to give hugs. Okay, so some of you might need a hug in the coming days and weeks, and it's all good. All right, yeah, Cancer, that's what I have for you this week, though. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Gilded Tarot Royale. It's one of my most favorite decks out there, and it's gorgeous. So if you'd like to get your name in for the running, you only need to do 2 things. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, if I could grant you any one wish, what would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.